Exclusive. Trump officials discussed reversing abortion for undocumented teen. The Trump administration official in charge of the Office of Refugee Resettlement discussed trying to use a controversial, scientifically unproven method to reverse an undocumented teen's abortion, according to documents reviewed by Vice News. Scott Lloyd, a longtime crusader against abortion who heads the agency that oversees undocumented minors who enter the country without their parents, spoke with staffers about trying to reverse the abortion of a pregnant teen in their custody, according to a deposition he underwent as part of a lawsuit between the Trump administration and the American Civil Liberties Union. In the past few years, opponents of abortion have championed the idea of halting a medication abortion midway by using the hormone progesterone. Anti-abortion activists have pushed governors in 4 states to sign laws requiring healthcare providers to tell patients about this so-called abortion reversal method. But there is no credible medical evidence that such a procedure works, and the mainstream medical community worries that using it amounts to experimentation on women. Nevertheless, Lloyd said in the deposition that he and his staff discussed the possibility of abortion reversal. Emails obtained by Vice News, including one sent last March to the clinic handling the abortion of a teenager in law's custody, also mention progesterone explicitly and show that officials had questions about the feasibility of using it for the purpose of aborting a chemical abortion process. Since October, 14s have accused the administration of blocking them from getting abortions while they were in the custody of the Office of Refugee Resettlement. In an internal administration document describing his decision to refuse to allow one of those teenagers who had been impregnated by rape to get an abortion, Lloyd called the procedure violence that has the ultimate destruction of another human being as its goal. There is no evidence that anyone actually tried to use progesterone to reverse this teen's abortion in March. The Trump administration officials ultimately did allow her to take that second pill and complete the abortion, according to a March 6 Health and Human Services Department memo addressed, in part, from Lloyd. The subject of abortion reversal arose in the deposition when Bridget Murray, senior staff attorney with the Exclusive Reproductive Freedom Project, asked Lloyd about medication abortion. Patients undergoing medication abortion take 2 pills. After ingesting the first, they have between 24 and 48 hours to take the second and complete the abortion, according to the Food and Drug Administration. But in March 2017, the Trump administration delayed allowing an undocumented, pregnant teen to take the second pill for several hours in order to determine the health status of her unborn child, according to the March 6 memo. According to the memo, an examination of the teen at a local hospital found a fetal heartbeat more than 24 hours after the teen took the first pill in the medication abortion. In the December deposition, Mary asked Lloyd why all officials would undertake such a hospital visit. Lloyd told her, I'm not exactly sure. Did you have conversations about whether the medication abortion could be reversed? She asked. I may have, Lloyd said. Mary asked, who did you have those conversations with? Lloyd said, other transition staff, including attorneys. Why would or seek to try to reverse the abortion of an unaccompanied minor? I don't know, except to save the life of the baby, Lloyd replied. A spokesperson for HHS Administration of Children and Families declined to comment for this story and referred Vice News to the agent's previous statements on the 14 court cases. The minors in this case who entered the country illegally have the option to voluntarily depart to their home country or find a suitable sponsor, the agency said in December. If they choose not to exercise these options, HHS does not believe we are required to facilitate the abortion. On March 3, 2017, the teen, a 17-year-old from El Salvador, took a pill to start her medication abortion, according to the March 6 memo. The teen, presumably in federal custody after entering the country without authorization, told immigration officials her pregnancy was the result of rape. She had also already secured the permission of a Texas judge to carry out the abortion. She planned to take the second pill the next day, according to the March 6 memo, which was first filed as an exhibit in the ACLU lawsuit. Just minutes before midnight on March 3, however, then acting OR Director Kenneth Toter blasted out an email to his staff. Under OR policy, he said, shelters cannot let the minors in their custody seek abortion without written permission from the head of the Office of Refugee Resettlement. In a March the 4th memo outlining OR's policy, TOTA specifically mentioned the abortion underway in Texas. If steps can be taken to preserve the life of the AWAC and her unborn child, those steps should be taken, TOTA wrote, using the abbreviation for unaccompanied alien child, the technical term for minors in OR's custody. He added, in any event, the health and safety of the AWAC must be preserved. On the same day TOTA sent that memo, the abortion clinic handling the teen's care received an email from an official at the OR-operated shelter housing the teen, which asked questions about the safety of using the hormone progesterone to reverse an abortion. On behalf of the Office of Refugee Resettlement, please answer this questionnaire as soon as possible, the email begins. It goes on to ask 4 questions, including, to the best of your knowledge and clinical practice, is the administration of progesterone following administration of mifepristone, but before the administration of cytotec, for the purpose of aborting a chemical abortion process, widely practiced? Cytotec and mifepristone, which is likely a misspelled reference to mifeprex, are drugs used in medication abortion. The abortion clinic didn't reply to this email, according to a clinic representative who asked to remain anonymous due to safety concerns. HHS Administration of Children and Families also declined to comment on whether any OR-affiliated official ever contacted this clinic. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists doesn't recommend trying to reverse a medication abortion in progress, and says progesterone is generally well tolerated by pregnant women but can cause side effects. Instead of administering progesterone and embarking on an experimental medical procedure, women who are rethinking their medication abortions should likely just skip taking the second pill, doctors told Vice News. Few patients are known to have successfully undergone abortion reversals. The group Abortion Pill Reversal, which promotes the controversial method, bases its claims on a study of 7 patients who received the progesterone protocol between 2006 and 2011. More than 120,000 medication abortions were performed in the United States in 2014, according to the Centers for Disease Control. Ultimately, OR officials still allowed the teen's abortion to proceed on Sunday, March the 5th, within a safe time frame. The March 6th memo stressed, neither OR nor the facility may provide consent for the abortion, but that OR was also not obstructing the minor to pursue her wishes. For the latest Gloria J. White news updates, follow Gloria J. White on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trump finally gave himself permission to fill up Gitmo with bad Judes when President Trump signed an executive order to keep Guantanamo Bay open on Tuesday. He set the stage for a wave of new detainees into the controversial military prison. In the past, we have foolishly released hundreds of dangerous terrorists, only to meet them again on the battlefield, including the ISIS leader, al-Baghdadi, Trump explained in his first State of Union address. The new order reverses a decade of policy, specifically President Obama's 2009 directive to close the facility in Cuba. But under Trump's executive order, the federal government now has the green light to send more detainees to a place where they will have little chance of ever leaving. Of the 41 men still at the facility, 27 have no plans for a future trial, while others are still fighting through cases that began nearly 2 decades ago. The executive order does say that they may transport additional detainees to Guantanamo, and that is a game changer. We haven't done that for a decade, explained Karen J. Greenberg, director of Fordham University Law School's Center on National Security. He's reopening a door that was shut. Nearly 780 people have been sent to Gitmo since it opened, but Presidents Bush and Obama worked to reduce that number by transferring suspects to other countries' custodies. Even Bush, the first president to detain suspects in the war on terror at Gitmo, eventually said he intended to close the facility, which the UN has condemned, near the end of his second term. The U.S. also reserves the right to try terror cases in federal courts, where prosecutors have nabbed hundreds of convictions since 9/11. Under the executive order, the Department of Justice can still do that, but Attorney General Jeff Sessions said in March he'd prefer bringing new terror detainees to Gitmo. Trump, who maintains that torture works, has also long pushed for full use of Gitmo again. While campaigning for president in February 2016, he promised to load it up with some bad dudes. Then in August, Trump's Pentagon announced nearly $500 million in planned renovations at the military base where the prison is located, potentially on sections that have been used for detaining people in the past. Trump also threatened to send a terror suspect who killed 8 people in a truck attack in Manhattan last year to the prison, although he later backed off. But despite giving the government official permission to keep sending detainees into Guantanamo, the executive order doesn't change much actual policy for its forever prisoners. What's remarkable about the executive order is how little it actually does, and how little it does to change the status quo, said Steve Vladek, a national security law expert at University of Texas. Obama's executive order called for the detention center to be shut down by 2010, but Congress halted those plans and restricted the president's ability to move Gitmo detainees to the U.S. for trial in a civilian court, sealing prisoners' fates to a long stay on the island. Still, a new lawsuit could offer a last chance at freedom for some. The suit, filed by the Center for Constitutional Rights earlier in January, argues that by condemning prisoners to Guantanamo and endorsing no further releases, Trump has denied them due process and overstepped his legal authority to fight the war on terror. For the latest Gloria J. White news updates, follow Gloria J. White on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trump reportedly asked Rosenstein if he's on my team. President Trump reportedly asked Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein whether the Justice Department official was on my team during a meeting in the White House last month. Rosenstein, who appointed Robert Mueller as special counsel for the Russia investigation, had visited Trump to ask for help combating demands for documents from House Intelligence Chairman Vin Nunes, according to CNN. Instead, Trump grilled Rosenstein on the Russia investigation and eventually asked for assurance that the law enforcement official was on my team, the network said. "Of course, we're all on your team, Mr. President," Rosenstein replied, according to CNN. Rosenstein is the highest Justice Department official in charge of the Russia investigation, since Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself. The requests for documents by Nunes may have contributed to the lawmaker's controversial memo, which he claims proves flaws in the FBI and Justice Department probes into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. In a similar scenario from early in Trump's presidency, former FBI Director James Comey claimed the president asked for a loyalty pledge from him just days after Trump was sworn in. Trump asked the only person who can fire Mueller if he was on my team. Report says if President Donald Trump values anything, it's loyalty to President Donald Trump. In a December meeting, Trump reportedly asked whether Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein was on my team, several unnamed sources told CNN on Wednesday. Sound familiar? FBI Director James Comey testified that Trump asked him to pledge his loyalty as well. At the time, Rosenstein reportedly was asking for Trump's help in warding off document requests from the House Intelligence Chair Vin Nunes relating to the Russia investigation. But Trump was more interested in trying to suss out the details of the investigation and find out Rosenstein's motivations. "Of course, we're all on your team, Mr. President," Rosenstein responded, the sources told CNN. Comey, however, declined Trump's request. He was later fired. Since Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself from the Russia investigation, Rosenstein is overseeing special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Rosenstein is the only person with the authority to fire Mueller. Later in December, lawmakers on the House Judiciary Committee asked Rosenstein whether he'd spoken to the president about the Russia investigation. Rosenstein declined to say but did testify that he hadn't received any improper orders from Trump and that he wouldn't fire Mueller at the president's request. An oath to the President of the United States, rather than the Constitution, would be inappropriate, Rosenstein testified. As long as you are following your oath of office, you can also be faithful to the administration, he added. House exclusive. Trump asked Rosenstein if he was on my team. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein visited the White House in December seeking President Donald Trump's help. The top Justice Department official in the Russia investigation wanted Trump's support in fighting off document demands from House Intelligence Chairman Vine Nunes. But the president had other priorities ahead of a key appearance by Rosenstein on the Hill, according to sources familiar with the meeting. Trump wanted to know where the special counsel's Russia investigation was heading. And he wanted to know whether Rosenstein was on my team. The episode is the latest to come to light, portraying a president whose inquiries sometimes cross a line that presidents traditionally have tried to avoid when dealing with the Justice Department, for which a measure of independence is key. The exchange could raise further questions about whether Trump was seeking to interfere in the investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller, who is looking into potential collusion by the Trump campaign with Russia and obstruction of justice by the White House. At the December meeting, the Deputy Attorney General appeared surprised by the president's questions, the sources said. He demurred on the direction of the Russia investigation, which Rosenstein has ultimate authority over now that his boss, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, has recused himself. And he responded awkwardly to the president's team request, the sources said. Of course, we're all on your team, Mr. President, Rosenstein told Trump, the sources said. It is not clear what Trump meant or how Rosenstein interpreted the comment. The Justice Department declined to comment for this story. The White House did not comment. Rosenstein's meeting with the president came as Rosenstein prepared to testify before the House Judiciary Committee. Trump appeared focused on Rosenstein's testimony, according to a source briefed on the matter, and he brought it up with the Deputy Attorney General. As a further sign of the president's focus on Rosenstein's testimony, one of the sources said Trump also had suggested questions to members of Congress that they could ask Rosenstein. One line of inquiry Trump proposed lawmakers ask about was whether Rosenstein appointed Mueller as special counsel to investigate Russian meddling in the 2016 election because Mueller was not selected as FBI director. CNN has reported that Trump has been venting to his aides about Rosenstein in recent weeks and even raised the possibility of his removal. Sources say Trump believes Rosenstein was upset Mueller wasn't selected as FBI director and responded by making him special counsel. It does not appear those questions were asked of Rosenstein at the hearing. Rosenstein's December 13th appearance before the committee included strong backing for Mueller. He also pushed back at Democrats' questions about the president's demands for loyalty. As long as you are following your oath of office, you can also be faithful to the administration, he testified. At the hearing, Rosenstein repeatedly declined to say whether Trump had ever asked him about the Russia investigation. But he testified that he never received any improper orders from Trump and denied that anyone ever asked him to pledge his loyalty, dating back to his time in the Bush administration. Nobody has asked me to take a loyalty pledge, other than the oath of office, Rosenstein said. In the first months of his presidency, Trump asked Comey for loyalty, according to Comey's testimony on Capitol Hill and his account to other FBI officials. Comey did not pledge loyalty, and after a few additional tense interactions with Trump, he was fired in May 2017. While searching for Comey's replacement, Trump interviewed acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Trump asked McCabe who he voted for during that interview, according to a source familiar with the matter. McCabe did not vote for president in the 2016 general election, but did vote in the Republican primary in Virginia, sources told CNN. Trump has publicly denied that he asked McCabe who he voted for. 7 months later, Rosenstein made his pitch in the December meeting with the president, asking for White House backing as the Justice Department sought to deny access to sensitive documents demanded by Nunes, who has spent months pursuing claims of surveillance abuses by the FBI and the Justice Department against the Trump campaign. There was no decision by the president at the meeting, the sources told CNN. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly later notified the Justice Department that the president would not help block access to the documents. For the latest Gloria J. White news updates, follow Gloria J. White on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.